Good evening and welcome to the news roundup for Tuesday, April 25th. Before we get into the news, please remember to like this video, share your views in the comments, and share the video with your family and friends.
Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them!
Now for the news in detail. Harry Belafonte has died. The singer, whose dynamic a cappella shout of Deo from the Banana Boat song and other music from world folk traditions propelled him to international stardom, reportedly died at his home in Manhattan on Tuesday. He was 96 years old. Spokesman Ken Sunshine said the cause of death was congestive heart failure. Belafonte was born to Jamaican immigrants, grew up in poverty in Depression-era Harlem, and became a major black crossover success in popular music. He went on to smash a series of barriers during 5 decades as a movie, TV, and stage star. His artistic and humanitarian work frequently overlap, reflecting his belief that the role of art isn't just to show life as it is, but to show life as it should be. Belafonte uses entertainment fortune to help bankroll the civil rights movement at home and human rights causes worldwide. The St. James Police have listed more men as wanted for crimes committed across the division. They are Romain Thorpe, otherwise called Dutchman. He is wanted for murder. Oriane Dunn, otherwise called Mike of Norwood. Dunn is wanted for a double murder. Leon Higgins, otherwise called Footer of Rose Heights. Higgins is wanted for murder. Shaquille Brown of William Street in St. James. He is wanted for murder. Cliff Henry, who is wanted for murder. Shane Morgan, otherwise called OK, of Upper King Street, St. James. He is wanted for murder. The men are being asked by the police to turn themselves in. Persons are also being reminded that it is a crime to harbor a fugitive. An Ananda Alert has been activated for 14-year-old Kelecia Williams of Marvally, Kingston 10, who has been missing since Saturday, April 22nd. She is of dark complexion, slim build, and is 167 centimeters, or 5 feet 6 inches tall. Reports from the Halfway Tree Police are that Kelecia was last seen at home wearing a purple shirt and red shorts. She has not been seen since. All efforts to locate her have proven futile. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Kelecia Williams is being asked to contact the Halfway Tree Police at 876-926-8184, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. A High Court judge has refused a bail application by the attorney for Andre Ruddock, the man accused of slashing the throat of a woman during an alleged church ritual in St. James nearly 2 years ago. Ruddock was taken into custody by the police following a bizarre series of events that ended in the deaths of Michael Brown and Tamika Gardner inside the Dr. Kevin Smith-led Pathways International Kingdom Restoration Church in Montego Bay on October 17, 2021. Prosecutors, in opposing Ruddock's bail application, said the police have intelligence indicating that his life could be in danger if he is released. They also raised concerns that he could interfere with witnesses. But his attorney, Anthony Williams, disputed the claims, saying they are not included in any witness statement disclosed to him. Further, Williams said there was nothing credible from the police to support the claim and insisted that his client has a constitutional right to bail. The attorney said antecedent report presented by the police confirmed that his client had no previous convictions. But after hearing legal arguments from both sides, Justice Vinette Graham Allen, who presided over the bail hearing, refused the application. Ruddock is to return to court on September 27th. A St. Ange-based educator has been taken into custody in connection with the disappearance of a 13-year-old student reported missing last week. Head of the St. Andrew South Police, Senior Superintendent Kirk Ricketts, said that the teacher was arrested on the weekend, hours after the child was found by police. SSP Ricketts says the child, who had been missing for several hours last week, was located by a citizen who contacted the police. He says the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse also has an interest in the teacher in relation to another incident. Months after the authorities uncovered a massive fraud at investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited (SSL), information suggests that only a handful of affected investors have come forward to provide statements to the police. Sources say that less than 10 investors who have been defrauded have come forward to give statements to investigators. 40 investors were reportedly defrauded in the racket, involving more than $2 billion. A senior investigator said that they have been encouraging investors to come forward, but with little success. Former wealth advisor Jean Panton is facing multiple fraud charges arising from the SSL investigations. She was remanded when she appeared in court last week. 8 people are now homeless after fire destroyed their home on Chalmers Avenue off Mullines Road last night.
About 8 people are now dislocated because of this fire.
The fire, which started about 10, destroyed most of the furniture and personal belongings of the occupants.
No, because most of the occupants here were ladies, and they panicked and they just grabbed what was closest to them and run out. And I think that's the extent of what the 2 arms could collect on their way out.
Damage is estimated to be more than $50 million.
Well, I was on the road. I got a phone call that the house is on fire. By the time I got here, it was 90% gutted. And looking at it, I have a lot of valuable stuff that's worth a few $1 million. It's just horrible.
Meanwhile, firefighters say they are not sure what caused the fire. The Narcotics Police is investigating a pilot from the Turks and Caicos Islands following a drug bust at Kingston's Norman Manley International Airport on Sunday. The pilot was arrested reportedly after he was held in possession of 17 pounds of ganja. The police allege that the pilot was preparing to fly to Turks and Caicos when the ganja was found in his luggage. More individuals who qualify for the National Housing Trust NHD Special Grant for persons with disabilities are being encouraged to apply for this provision. Under the program, NHD mortgagors with disabilities or who reside with and care for a family member having such are eligible for a grant of $300,000. The initiative, which was launched in 2017, aims to greatly assist beneficiaries with retrofitting or upgrading dwellings to make them more suitable for the occupants' needs. In addition, where a mortgagor with a disability is accessing an NHD unit, the value of the grant will be directly related to the cost to retrofit the unit to the suitability of the mortgagee's needs. A maximum of 2 NHD mortgages with disabilities residing in the same household can access the grant. The bullet-riddled body of a man was reportedly set on fire in Macney, St. Anne on Monday night. The deceased has been identified as 23-year-old farmer Keron Benjamin. Police report that around 9 a.m. on Tuesday, residents stumbled upon the body. Police believe Benjamin was killed and set ablaze when residents reportedly heard explosions about 11 p.m. Investigations continue. The Integrity Commission has referred 45 employees of the Transport Authority to its Director of Corruption Prosecution after they failed to file statutory declarations for 2019 and 2020. The employees, including senior staff, have all been found in breach of the Integrity Commission Act, which compels public employees who receive emoluments of $3.5 million or more to submit declarations to the Director of Information and Compliance, outlining their assets, liabilities, and income. According to the Commission, the employees have provided no lawful explanation for failure to file their statutory declarations. The Commission says public entities should ensure that public officials provide annual proof that they are compliant with the Integrity Commission Act in respect of filing statutory declarations. In business, United States-based Century Aluminum Company is to acquire Noble's 55% ownership interest in bauxite company Jamalco. The company says the transaction should close by the end of April. Jamalco is a joint venture between Noble Group and Clarendon Alumina Production, which is owned by the government of Jamaica. This acquisition is highly strategic for Century as it secures a predictable long-term supply of alumina. In the region, Police in Trinidad are investigating the murders of 3 men who were reportedly called out of their home and shot execution style by someone purporting to be law enforcement. The 3 men were reportedly asleep at their home with other family members early on Tuesday morning when they were awakened by a loud knock on their front door and a voice saying, "Police, open the door." But before they could answer, the door was broken down and a person wearing a mask, a tactical uniform and a bulletproof vest with the marking "Police" entered and asked all the men living in the residence to exit the dwelling. The victims were ordered out of the house and made to lie face down on the ground. Several loud explosions were heard shortly after. On the international scene, cholera cases in Mozambique have increased tenfold to 28,000 since the start of February, UNICEF said on Tuesday, as the country reels from the impact of Cyclone Freddy. More than 28,000 cases of cholera have now been recorded in Mozambique. This is 10 times the figure reported at the start of February, and more than half of those cases are among children. The disease has so far killed 123 people in the country since late last year, according to the World Health Organization. The interruption of water supplies, hygiene services, and sanitation in the wake of the cyclone has created a perfect storm. According to UNICEF, Freddy destroyed more than 100 health facilities and 250 water points, cutting off clean water for around 300,000 people, mostly in central Mozambique. Mozambique have received more than 2.4 million doses of oral cholera vaccine. And in sports, World 200-meter champion Sharika Jackson will open her season in the Wonder Diamond League in Doha, Qatar, where she faces a strong field in the women's 100 meters on May 5th. The announcement was made today with Jackson down to line up against the likes of World Championship 200-meter bronze medalist and the former world champion Dina Asher-Smith, as well as a strong American contingent, which consists of Melissa Jefferson, Abby Steiner, Sha'Carri Richardson, and Tonisha Terry. In her first 100 of the year at Saturday's Velocity Fest 13 inside the National Stadium, Jackson was in ominous form, clocking a world-leading 10.82 seconds. And that's it for your news roundup for today. We would appreciate you liking this video, leaving a comment and sharing the video with your family and friends. Have a good evening and see you next time.
Teach them! Hey, yo, hello! Send the message and make it reach them. It's teach them. Right here. Warlord representing.
Thank you for watching. Like the video before you go. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. And remember to share the video with your friends and family. And browse the channel for more quality content. Until next time, walk good, my friends.
Teach them!